there, thanks for joining me and checking out my video. Today I am interested in sharing with you all some of my other hobbies that are similar, or maybe if you're a colorist and you like to color, things that you would probably be interested in. So if you've been watching coloring on YouTube for a while, you may have heard this term, coloring adjacent. And I've heard it in quite a few different places. I think it's pretty clever. So whoever came up with the idea or the terminology, like, good job. I really like it. I think it's super cute. But basically, it's the idea that there's some similar hobbies that are maybe cousins or related to coloring that, you know, if you're the type that likes to paint or color, that you're probably likely interested in some of these hobbies as well, whether they're crafty or they're paper related. Because I was going to say many of them are paper based. So I'm going to share a few of those. I'm going to patch together a couple videos sharing some of the things that I'm interested in. Now, this is not every single thing, every other hobby that Amy is interested in, because I have a ton and that's not what we're going to go over today. And there's definitely some that aren't really related, such as, you know, I like to cook, I like to play video games, I like live music, so I go to a lot of concerts, but you know, hey, that'll be for another day. I would categorize the hobbies that I'm going to share with you today. So my definition for color adjacent is where there's either color involved, color like some type of selection of colors, or paper. Okay, so I've got a couple things laid out here, but let's go ahead and get started. Hey, so the first other coloring adjacent hobby that I wanted to talk about in this video is scrapbooking. And I am first and foremost a scrapbooker. My craft room is centered around the hobby, and most of my supplies are scrapbook related. Coloring, because I got back into that and more closely followed the community in the past year, my coloring supplies are definitely getting there. And then some of them are kind of overlapping, right? Like distress inks I had before for scrapbooking, watercolors, markers, journaling pens, like a lot of those are some of the like erasers, pencils. I'm going to share with you, this is the first scrapbook that I ever completed. And it's of my husband and I, we were dating at the time. We took a trip to Hawaii our freshman year of college. And this was back in the early 2000s when scrapbooking hadn't yet blown up big time commercially in the stores. And so you couldn't just go and walk down a scrapbooking aisle. You had to get really, really creative. And so that's why I wanted to show it. If you're interested in all the things that I have that are scrapbooking related, I'm going to put a link to another video I did film last year, and when I started the channel, a tour of my craft rooms. But this is the first one, and so this is definitely pre-kids, anything like that, so I'm not super worried about anything that you're going to see in here, so I don't mind. But I just kind of wanted to show you because I thought it was cool that it's not like off-the-shelf scrapbooking stuff. This, in fact, was really big. So this is like a spiral-bound notebook with black pages. And it was at the time when that was really big. The black paper with the milky gel pens. And so you'll see that in here. That was blown up. So back when I did this scrapbook, you know, you could use postcards. You, of course, are using your photos, and I did a lot of just cutting of the photos. I would print stuff off the computer, like clip art images, cut out paper, like on my own by hand. I would take scraps from newspapers and brochures. This is some stickers and paper that I cut. This was about as close as it came to getting some type of scrapbook thing. It's just some frames for photos. But you can see, and I did a lot of this by hand. A lot of printing some stuff off of the computer, but it definitely, I really like this one. It's pretty cool. But it's definitely come a long way, and actually now scrapbooking, because of changes in technology, a lot of people are doing digital scrapbooks, or just using social media to capture memories. And so the hobby is still around. Like coloring, it may not be as big commercially, like out in your stores down the street, but you can still order like scrapbooking supplies online. So like this was from like a newspaper. I made this, just out of construction paper. I saw this was like copy paper, 8.5 by 11 copy paper. So I was using, like, these are paint pens. Like I was using paint pens back then. This is like confetti. So I thought it'd be neat just to flip through this really quick. This was forever ago. But I never did a channel on scrapbooking. There were quite a few people that I followed and still follow to this day that do scrapbooking or scrapbooking layouts. I'm really behind, and it's not a hobby that I have come back to in probably 5 or 6 years, but I'm really, so it's kind of different. How I feel about it is a little bit different than coloring, because I feel like I have to properly organize and get my stuff together and take a lot of time. I take a lot of time when I'm scrapbooking. So it takes a little more planning, at least for me, than coloring does. So if I'm going to get into it, I really need to dedicate the time. So I was really big into scrapbooking before kids, and when the kids were really young. So they went to bed early, when they were babies and toddlers, and they didn't have any activities back then. So I got a lot of scrapbooking done. It's just not my season right now. I have 2 teens. So for the past, however many years, 10 years, it's been more on the go, taking them to activities, things with school and various whatnot. So it's just been harder to scrapbook, and I am slowly getting that time back now, as they've reached the ages where they can do more on their own. They can get rides with friends. They spend time with friends. And so I do think that I'll be getting back into scrapbooking here in the next year or 2, I think. So anyway, that's scrapbooking. Just wanted to show you, if you didn't see it before, here's like my IKEA shelves where I keep a lot of the scrapbooking supplies and have all my scrapbooks stored. So kind of the way that I have projects divided is that each child, I have 2 kids, a girl and a boy, I have scrapbooks that I'm working on, which has their birthdays. And then I also have ones that I'm working on that has their activities. I did make a college scrapbook. That's the other one that is like completely 100% finished. And then I have some that I'm planning to do of Disney trips. What am I forgetting? Birthdays, activities. Anyway, school. And so they each have one for school where it's got kind of like each year some of the highlights and major things that they did, accomplishments. But the other thing that I really enjoyed doing, and these projects are completed, is if you're familiar with the December Daily. So it's where you capture what you're doing around the holiday season each day. in December. I did two. I have 2 December dailies that are complete. So this is 2016. I don't remember what this is, so we're gonna have to open it up to find out. Oh, I said I wasn't gonna show my kids. I guess they'd be unrecognizable at this point. So I don't remember what year this one was. But I did an October daily because I'm big on Halloween. So this one is my 2017 Halloween October daily. So I just thought I'd mention that because those are a lot of fun. There are still a lot of people in the community, the paper craft and scrapbooking community, that do these December dailies. Okay, so the second coloring adjacent activity that I wanted to talk about today is diamond art or diamond painting. And I think there are lots of people actually that are in the coloring community that also diamond paint. And a lot of them kind of do it on the same channel. But I did not get into diamond painting until COVID. In 2020 is when I did my first diamond painting. And I was hooked. I love it. And I have done 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 full size like this diamond art, and 4.5 because I've got one that I'm working on. And I'm going to show pictures of some of the other ones that I've completed because I don't actually, like, I know one of them is at work in my office, but I do have where I posted about it on Facebook, so I can show you a picture. But basically, for those of you who are new to diamond art or haven't given it a try, you select an image, and the canvas that comes is sticky. So here's one that I haven't done. This is a little Grogu, Baby Yoda, and it's covered by thin film to protect the sticky. And you see that there's either letters or numbers or shapes that denote which gem is supposed to be used. You get a pack like this, and they are either square or circular, maybe others, I don't know, gemstones that come with your kit, everything that you need, all the colors that you need. And then you get a couple tools. So I forget what you call this. You get your applicator and the sticky that you use at the end of your like drill, and you have to use it, and then when it's not working anymore, you replace it basically. But you fill that, and that's what's going to get the gemstone or the diamond to adhere, so that you can apply it, so that you can pick it up to apply it to the canvas. And then here's where they give you a little tray where you can put some of the ones of the color that you're working on. You can sort them out so that you can pick them up a little bit easier. And if you're real fancy, they make some special applicators. I have one that lights up so you can see better. But yeah, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about diamond art just because I feel like it's been around enough, and there are a lot of people doing it. I do highly recommend it if you haven't tried it. I do think it's a lot of fun. I really liked when I was, there's like cat hair all over it. I picked this one up because it's one of the ones that I haven't done anything with, like I haven't framed it or anything. My other ones are framed and like hanging on walls and stuff. So, but I would like listen or watch like shows on Netflix or whatever while doing the diamond art. That's how I watched the entire the Office series, is when I was doing diamond art. I think Schitt's Creek, that's what I was doing, was diamond art during that too in 2020. Both things I listened to or watched in 2020, or like an audiobook. So, but it's soothing and it's really satisfying. And if you have a really big piece like this, I would recommend, so that it doesn't get like, you're not exposing the sticky portion of the canvas to dust, or you're not, you know, so it doesn't get unsticky, is if you have a big section like this, taking like an X-Acto knife and only cutting the film off of the part, you know, so only the part that you're working on, so that you can keep this covered and you're not worried about, you know, opening it, closing it. So yeah, diamond art. I do have one that I'm working on that is actually a custom. There are places that'll do that on Etsy if you have your own photograph that you want to turn into diamond art. So it's an image of our cats. So I'm about halfway through that one. The last time, I haven't done diamond art in a while. The last time I actually did diamond art, and the only time that I did it in 2024, you can also buy small projects. So we got, what did we get? Oh, so we have I decorate for Halloween, and it includes a Halloween like Christmas tree. So I got little ornaments that were diamond art off Amazon. It was like a pack of like 30, and they came in like different shapes, like a skull and a bat and a witch's hat, an eyeball, you know. But yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, diamond art. Check it out. I kind of did you wrong there. So I just thought it would be important for you to know that that little diamond painting that had Grogu came from a kit of 4 that my daughter was gifted from, and these are from Amazon. It also had Mario, Stitch, and Pikachu. They are adorable. I think she's going to let me do the Star Wars one of Grogu. These are relatively inexpensive, by the way, and there are companies that specialize in diamond painting kits. You can also get them off of Amazon. There's several different companies that do the kits as well. Hey, so the next coloring adjacent hobby that I have are these paint by sticker books that you may have seen. They've kind of become a thing, and I think I just have these 2. So I recently got this one for Christmas. It's the Ultimate Taylor Swift sticker mosaic art, and has these images here. So they basically have a bunch of stickers in a mosaic style that are numbered, I did this one. Oh no, oh man. Okay, that's gonna be my comment here in a second. You apply them to the page. So my comment is, they're not very sticky. And you actually kind of know this when you're putting them down. So I gotta fix this one. But I took a picture of it when I was done. But they are not very sticky. But this is also another one that's a lot of fun to do and very therapeutic. But I suppose if you really want them to stay intact, you're gonna have to use some kind of like glue stick or something like that to get them to stay. And then I have paint by sticker cats. And this one has 12 images, and I believe I've started this one, but I think I've done 2 others. But these are a lot of fun. So something else you might want to consider. I love stickers in general. I had sticker books growing up. So sticker by number. Okay, the next paper hobby that I wanted to mention. I like this one because I think it might be new or different for you all. It's called Paint Doku, and this was new to me. I'm not sure when. It's been several years now. A friend of mine has a couple of these books, and I really like Sudoku, which is a number puzzle. If you're not familiar with that, Paint Doku is basically similar as Sudoku, except for when you're resolving the puzzle, it creates an image. And this book has a variety of them. This is from Puzzle Right Press, and how old is it? Published in 2007. So I mean, it's been around for a while. And it goes into detail explaining how you're supposed to do these things. It does take quite a bit of logic and thought. But if you're into this sort of thing, it's really cool. So in this book, there's very small ones at the beginning, and then they get bigger towards the end. And they're harder. So these are much, much harder than these. And so I only have one book because I wanted to try it out. And I love it. I love doing these things. And I pick them up every now and again. They're fun to take like when I'm traveling or on vacation. I haven't gotten super far. And then like these two, I messed up. It's very easy to mess up in these things. I would recommend having like a ruler or some kind of flat guide to not this, but like a piece of paper or something to help you with lining things up, because if you get one off, you're hosed. But these two I like totally messed up. I do them in pencil because, you know, if you mess up, you erase it and come back. This one was really hard for some reason, but I've done some of the bigger ones too, like that. There's Elvis, dancers, but that's as far as I've gotten because I'm kind of going in order. But you can see, so I got up to, this is number 52. I'll show you the answer key in a second if you're interested. There's like 180? No. There's a lot of them. Yeah, 182 in here. So, and I think there are a few other books. But I did get this off of Amazon. If I didn't say that already, if I did, I'm sorry. The back has the solutions. So so stop watching if you're going to end up getting this book. But I'm just going to flip really quickly so you can see like all the different things that come out. But this is really fun. If you're into like I said, if you're into puzzles and stuff. I'm not sure why that in the world is that. Paint Sudoku. Yeah, but I love Sudoku too. All right. This next adjacent, this is a stretch. I would say it's paper related, not color. But I mean, everybody knows what this is, but word searches. I think if you're someone that's into coloring and painting and that you might be interested or in puzzles like the Paint Doku or word searches. I really love a word search, and I'm not really into crossword, but I get that, you know, any type of puzzle like that. So here are just a few of the ones that I have that I've been working on. And you talk about color. Sometimes I'll use a highlighter when I'm solving the word search. But yeah, it introduces some color. And then I'll put a sticker sometimes when I'm completing them. So I'll still do that. Like I'll put a sticker and sometimes I'll put the date. Yeah, the date and the sticker. But yeah, I mean, it's to me, this whole thing about paper, reading, scrapbooking, coloring, it's definitely about paper for me. That's my like ASMR trigger. So that's why I like these things. And then the last coloring adjacent hobby that I'm going to recommend to you guys in this video is paint by number. And to be fair, I've only ever done one, and it's a really large piece that is from a personal photo of our family. So I'm not going to show it. I'm still not exactly sure how my comfort level on showing all of us. I think I'm okay with showing myself and my husband, but not the kids, not yet. So anyway, this one is a kit. It's one of my daughters. She hasn't done it yet, but a little kitty cat in a teacup. A lot of times these things also come in kits, and they have everything that you need, including a paintbrush and all the paints. Sometimes they could be on I mean, most of the time I think it's on some type of canvas, but it could also be on like a paper. I never sought out paint by number. The one that I did was gifted to me, and I am telling you, I loved it so much. I had no idea how much I was going to love it. I would have never guessed. And so that's why I would say I highly recommend this. This is actually the second kit. I think that she's maybe second or third. She receives a lot of like crafty art kits because she likes to do them. But there are a lot of them that are out there. Some that are geared towards kids, some that are more geared towards adults. But if you think you might be interested in this at all, I would at least give it a try. Maybe get a cheap set. It was a lot of fun, and I really, like I said, I really enjoyed the one that I got. Hey guys, I'm back. So just to kind of wrap things up, I hope you enjoyed this video. It is something pretty different from what you might be used to seeing on a coloring channel. But I thought it would be interesting, and I thought it would be for those of you who haven't dabbled in some of these other related hobbies, maybe pique your interest a little bit, and help you maybe kind of determine if there are some other things out there that you'd like to try, or maybe some things you hadn't heard of, or maybe things you had, and just knowing like what other things other people are interested in. So just giving you a little insight there. So that's definitely not everything. Like all the hobbies that one could possibly do that involves like paint or paper, but it's everything that I could think of right now, and it's certainly everything that I do the most outside of coloring. Definitely coloring is the big one for me right now, and it's so diverse because I really like how, you know, you've got things that are easy to color that you could do within like 30 minutes, and then you've got really detailed and complex pages that might take you hours and hours and hours to complete, and that's okay. I love that there's that. I love that there's kind of something for everybody when it comes to coloring, and I like all of it. So let me know if you enjoyed this video and what other kind of hobbies that you're into outside of coloring. The only other big one that I mentioned that I didn't mention that falls into the whole paper category is reading, and I think that a lot of colorists also are pretty big readers. That was the other thing that I've noticed on some other channels. People kind of overlap sometimes books, like reading books with coloring books. And I think that's super awesome too. I love to read. I've always loved to read. I help to coordinate our neighborhood's book club, and I read a whole bunch of different things. So I'm not even going to go into like try to explain any kind of favorite or anything. I mean, I like it all, and I'm interested in reading different things. So pretty diverse reader. All right. Hope that you all are enjoying your coloring this month, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks again, everybody.